start round 38 now. To do that, we're going to go back to the magenta colored yarn. You want to join in this last white front post from this set. So again, if you find the white ones that are sandwiching these blue ones, these are the ones that are forming our triangle. Take the fourth one, the last one from that bunch. That's where we're going to join in with our chain. So the chain stitch we do here counts as our first single crochet. To start, we're going to do 4 single crochet. So this would be 2, 3, and 4. Next up, we're going to throw a couple of overlay stitches in here, actually 1 overlay, 1 spike stitch, just to add some interest to the section, so a little pop of color. So first up comes the treble crochet overlay stitch. So we're going to yarn over twice, and we don't want to go into the white one that's next, the blue one. We're going to go down to the white one that comes below that. So 3 rounds down. Grab that front loop and do your treble crochet. Skip this guy. We're going to skip all of them because we're going to do an increase, like an actual increase later on. So skip this one, 2 single crochet. Gets us a little closer to the point here. And next we're going to do a spike stitch. So right here, do the spike stitch around the whole white stitch. So insert your hook under it to complete the single crochet. And now to get to the other side, we want 7 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now we're going to reverse the 2 stitches, doing the spike stitch first and the treble crochet later. So next up, the spike stitch around the whole white single crochet. We're going to do 3 single crochet here because sides aren't quite even. Get rid of that tail. 2, 3. Now comes the treble crochet. Remember, we're not going to go into this white one or the blue one. We're going to come down to the white one below that. So yarn over twice into the white front loop. Skip a stitch. Now 9 single crochet because we got to get over to here. So we skipped this one, 9 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're coming over then into the middle of this part. We're going to throw an increase right here in the middle. We got 2 going in the same stitch there. And now 4 more should bring us back to this first overlay stitch. So 4 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And if you look, we're all set for our next repeat to begin in the front post stitch there. So here's what it looks like. These rows where we have just a couple of random little overlay or spike stitches, the count does look a little weird. So we'll go through it one more time. It's definitely one of those ones where you want to have it written down. There aren't tons of landmarks to see, but we're going to start in the last front post from this group of 4. So join in there. We have 4 single crochet followed by a treble going into the white front loop down below here. 2 single crochet followed by a spike. Now 7 single crochet to get to the other side, and that does work out evenly, so we have 3 with the middle one here and another 3. You got your spike stitch here. Now just because there are more stitches because of increases before, after the spike we have 3 single crochet here before our front post treble, again going into the white front loop here. 9 single crochet get you to the middle of this triangle piece that we're forming. That's where we're going to do our increase, and then 4 more to finish out the space. So 4, 2, 7, 3, 9, increase, 4. Like I said, the numbers aren't great here, so it really is just a matter of counting, and you can see the middle here and the middle here as sort of landmarks as you're going along. Remember to skip the stitches for both the treble crochets to keep your count accurate, and that's it. Complete that 8 times all the way around the circle, and then we'll be able to move on to number 39. It's time for round 39. We're going to go back to this yellow or light sort of green, pale green. Yeah, I still think it looks more yellow when you work with it. So we're going back to this yellow yarn here, and this is going to be just a simple single crochet with an increase thrown in kind of round. So we're going to join in the first stitch of an increase, so find any one you want. Join in there. We're going to do 10 single crochet followed by the increase. So here's 1. That chain counts as 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And if you notice, our increase is going to be right here on this first treble crochet from the pattern before. So that's our increase. We'll do 2 in the same stitch. Now all we're doing is single crochet until we get up to that increase here, and it should be 24 single crochet. So 24 total. It's 1, 5, 10, 15, 20. So we need 4 more. 21, 22, 23, and 24. And if you look, we're right back where we started. The next stitch is the first stitch in the increase. So that's it for this round. It's a pretty simple round. It's just to give us a little bit more space before we start doing our next overlay stitches, and it gives us a little pop of some bright color here. So join in the first stitch of an increase right here, 10 single crochet, do an increase which is going to be right above this treble here, then 24 single crochet, get you back to the next increase. That's it. Round 40, which means we only have 10 rounds left. That's always exciting because as great as it is to start a new project, there's nothing better than finishing a project, especially a long one. And this is not tiny. This takes a while to do. So 10 left. Very great. We're going to, for round 40, join the blue yarn in again and continue these blue front post stitches closer and closer until we can join them together in a point. So you want to find an increase from the last round and join in the second stitch in that increase. That'll be our first single crochet, and we want 15 of them right now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oops, I did not do a good job on that one. This should be 14, 15. And since I screwed up that last one, I'm just going to check my count again, because these last rows, you know, I think it's that I get closer to the end, I'm getting tired, I'm not sure what, but I always seem to make mistakes in these last rows, so I always check my work as much as I can. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 single crochet. After that, we have an increase. So if you notice, on the last round our increase was right above this treble crochet. On this round our increase, it's one row up, but our increase is above this one. After the increase, we got to get over here so we can do our front post, and we need 8 single crochet to get into position. So 1, you lose the tail there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So now we're ready to do a front post stitch that's going to connect to the blue one in the middle here. So treble crochet, only 2 loops needed this time. We're a little closer. Again, if your stitch is pulling really tight, you can always make it a double treble and yarn over 3 times instead. There's no difference, it's just how long the stitch is. So if you need that, if your work is tight and you need that extra length, go for it. We're going to skip this stitch right here and now do 4. And I said skip it and then went right into it, didn't I? I told you I make a lot of mistakes when I get towards the end. So skip that, then 4 single crochet to get to the other side. Now that we're here, I'm going to do another front post treble. And again, if you need that extra space, do a double treble, nothing wrong with that. Skip a stitch, and 6 more should bring us back to our starting point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and notice number 6 is going into the first stitch in the increase, which leaves the second stitch ready for our next repeat. So here we go, we got 2 front post stitches, an increase, and a bunch of single crochet. So looking at the count again, join in the second stitch of an increase, 15 single crochet, bring you back over this treble right here, throw your increase in, then 8 more stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, bring you to our first front post stitch. That should be a treble, should work fine, because as you see we're a little closer, we're not pulling it quite as far over as we have in the past. But if you need the double treble, go for it. Skip the stitch. Oh, and you can see there I left a loop free, so I'll grab that, I'll fix that in a minute. So do the front post stitch, skip, 4 single crochet, bring you over to the other front post stitch, skip a stitch, and 6 more should bring you to your starting point. So start in the second, we have 15, increase, 8, front post, 4, front post, 6. That's the count. After this, we're to round 41.